Hello guys and welcome back. So now in this video we will be showing the player list, the player name list in our room menu. Okay, for that first of all disable the loading menu and let's open up the room menu. Okay, right here we will be showing all of the player names inside the room. So what we're gonna do from our find room menu, okay, from this one we're gonna make a duplicate copy of this room list content and then let's drag and drop it inside our room menu. Okay, now let's disable this and this will be our room list content. Let's name this as player list content. Okay, and then in here what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a new UI legacy text. Okay, as you can see here it is. Make the height of it 70 and let's make the font size 50. Okay, and you can make it bold if you want, and let's type right here player name. Okay, make it in the center like this. Okay, so in this way we will show our player name. Later in the videos we will also be showing the team number right here on the right side, but that is for the upcoming videos. Let's now name this as player list item actually. Okay, and when you do that then click on game prefabs and in here make a prefab of this. Okay, then we can leave this as it is for now. After this we will click on the scripts folder and in here let's go inside multiplayer scripts and let's create a new script by the name of player list item. Then click on player list item game object and drag and drop this script right here at the top. Okay, and let's click apply so that the script is fully attached to the game object and the prefab. Now let's go ahead and open this up. On this script we will be doing three things. The first one will be that when a player joins a room, okay, then in the player list item prefab, as you know that we have a text component, so on that text we're gonna show the player username. And the second thing will be when the player leaves the room, then we will make this player list item self-destructible. I mean, when the player leaves the room, we're going to destroy that player from that room, or you can say remove that player from that room. And the third thing will be that we will be showing the player team on this script as well. Okay, so let's first of all add a reference to the text component. So for that, at the top we're gonna say using unity engine.ui, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use two things more, and that is uh, using photon.realtime, and the next one is photon.pun. Okay, which is this. Then also on the player list item script we're gonna make this pun callbacks. Okay, then let's add a reference to the text component. Let's name this as username or player username. Okay, after this we will say player, then we're gonna create a method by the name of setup, and this will require player. Okay, let's name this as underscore player. Then in this method what we're gonna do, we're gonna equal the player to the underscore player, and then we're gonna say player username dot text will be equals to the underscore player dot nickname. Okay, after this, we're gonna create another method which will be for leaving the room and destroying the player list item from the room. Okay, so we're gonna say public override void on player left room. This is gonna require a player, and let's name this as other player. Okay, then in here what we're gonna do, we're gonna equal our player. We're gonna say if the player is equals to the other player. Okay, then we're gonna say destroy game object. Okay, so if the player leaves the room, then we're gonna destroy the player list item. After this, we want to call another method as well, which is by the name on left room. Okay, in this method, this method is used for leaving the room. So if we leave the room, then we want to destroy the player list item as well. Okay, so just simply copy and paste that. And right here we are just simply saying that if our player is equals to the other player, okay, then it means the player has left the room, so we will just destroy the game object. Okay, now after this, in our launcher script, what we're gonna do, we're gonna copy this to the player list content and player list item prefab, and we're gonna paste it. Now change this room from room to player, because this will be a reference to our player list content, and this will be a reference to our player list item prefab. Okay, now once we have these two references at the bottom of the script, now we're going to create another method which will be used for when the player entered the room. Okay, then what we're gonna do, we're gonna instantiate, or you can say spawn, the player list item prefab on the player list content. Okay, just as we did for when we create a room. Okay, so right here we're gonna say public override void on player entered room player, and then we're gonna say new player. Okay, so if this is the case, then let's spawn our player list item prefab on the player list content dot get component. Right here we're gonna say player list item. We're gonna take the player list item component, and from that we're gonna get the setup method, and to this setup method we will pass our player. Okay, so right here we're gonna say new player. Okay, and as you know that on our playlist item we are also showing the player username. Okay, and as you know, for now we don't take any username from the player. So what we're gonna do for now, we're gonna create a random username for the player, and then in our future videos we're gonna give an option to the player to enter his or her username. Okay, so in here on joint lobby, Whenever we join a new lobby, what we're gonna do, we're gonna say Photon network dot nickname equals to, at the start of the nickname we're gonna type player, then we're gonna join that with random dot range. Let's set it from 0 to unit 10, 100,000, 10,000 for example, and then we're gonna, at the end we're gonna just simply add some string. So we're gonna say widths. Okay, so you can type whatever you want right here. I'm just gonna type widths. Now this will provide a random nickname to our player or to each of the player. Now after this, on our method on joined room right here, what we're gonna do, as you know that we want to show all of the players that join the room with our own player. Okay, I mean we want to show all of the player names, okay, including our player name. So for that, what we're gonna do right here is we're gonna say player, this auto correction thing is really a headache. I have to remove that package from my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so now we're gonna create a player array. Let's name this as players, and this will equals to Photon network, and then we're gonna say dot player list. Then after this we're gonna create a for loop, then int I will be equals to 0 as always, and then we're gonna say if I is less than the players dot count. Okay, then we're gonna say I plus plus, and then in here if we now scroll down, let's copy this and paste it in here. Okay, so we're gonna instantiate a player list item prefab in the player list content dot get component, and right here instead of now new player we're gonna say players, and let's pass I in there. That is it, so that it shows all of the players, okay, and our player as well. Now if we save this, okay, and actually before saving it right here, make sure that you spell this correctly, okay, Photon network. Right here, let's type, instead of widths, let's type 000. So now let's go ahead and build the game. Okay, it is building. Now let's start the game from here as well. So now if we go ahead and create a room from here by the name test1, create room. Now as you can see, it is showing the username correctly, okay, player 5570. Let's right click on find room. As you can see, here is the room test1. Let's click on it. So now as you can see, it is showing the other player name as well, okay, which we joined from this one. Now if we go ahead and leave the room, okay, as you can see, the player has now left the room. If you click on find room again, join test1, as you can see now, if you notice that it is showing the this player 5570 two times right here, and also it is showing the 9966 player, okay, this was the first time when this player joins the game, okay, so it is still showing that right here, okay, on this other computer. So what we want to do, we want to fix these bugs in the next video, okay. Now if you for example leave it again, join it again, as you can see now it is showing a new player, and also the previous players are added. Now this one is added 3 times and these 3 as well. So we don't actually want these bugs. So in the next video we're gonna fix that. Don't worry about it.